videos of how road accidents are taking lives.
Right, let's learn how to say it right. Brought to us by Korba Payment App, Korba, Our Lives Simplified, and Kingdom Books at Kingdom Quality and Affordability is our hallmark.
Right, we'll have to give it a minute before we get into say it right. Oh, we have it. Good, let's go.
Something must be done.
You say either, I say either.
Kojo,
Wheezy?
did you listen to the vice president at Ashesi?
I did. It was interesting to see how the different digitalization projects are coming together to create a system into which all people and businesses can plug.
Yes, indeed. I'm looking forward to using my Ghana card for everything in the world, including entry into heaven.
Well, maybe not you. I mean, maybe not that.
Hey, Kojo. Anyway, at least you said it right.
I did. I did.
You did. Some say digitization when they mean digitalization.
That's true. Both are words, but their meanings are slightly different. Digitization refers to the process of converting something into a digital format, like converting paper hospital records into digital files.
Digitalization, on the other hand, is about using new technology, moving from an analog way of doing things to a system that uses digital means.
That is absolutely correct. You just might join us in heaven after all.
Join who? You, Kojo Yankson.
Yeah, anymore. You'll be shocked when you turn up at the gates of heaven and find that I am the official in charge of taking pictures for ID cards.
Yes, I will be shocked.
Yes, you people are doubting my official status in heaven. Anyway, what's in the papers this morning?
Let's start with the Chronicle this morning, and Leviticus chapter 24, verse 19. Anyone who injures their neighbor is to be injured in the same manner. There's the Mosaic law. So that's how the Chronicle intends to start this morning. And it talks about the Takwa police show of power. Tortured for the name Sasabonsam. Victim narrates horrifying story in petition to the IGP. And we're told that a 37-year-old Yawata, who's a resident of Dumpim in the Western region, who was allegedly tortured by the Takwa police on the alleged directive of the Divisional Commander, Chief Superintendent George Kuma, has petitioned the regional command of the service and secondly to investigate the conduct of the officers. Now, he's also sent a copy of the petition to the IGP. And says he could not provide the name of one of the officers, but the petitioner says he'll be able to identify that person. He says he was, according to Yawata, who gave a detailed account of how he was cruelly handcuffed to a plastic chair and tortured for allegedly describing the divisional commander as Sasabonsam.
Oh, dear.
And he says, I was beaten and tortured by 3 police officers who under the express supervision of the district commander. He said, and plot to crucify Nzima East MC exposed. It's here. And Koku the Bull, NDC fight over Mills legacy. And so, there are some J Park and everything. And this year will be the 10th year since Professor John Evans Atamils died. Died on the 24th of July, 2012. And so that story is here. And top NP officials visit Kenyan counterparts. NLA KGL multi-million cities deal, negotiates multi-million deal. And Chris Houghton hasn't met GFA over Black Stars job in Ghana only for holidays, we're told.
Hey, that's the story.
On the back page of the Chronicle. But he's been meeting others.
Are we just making up stories?
Oh, but if it's not met GFA officials should meet him.
But is he in the running?
Oh, the GFA contacted him the last time, and according to our sources, he told them how much he was going to, how much he wanted, as his monthly salary. The GFA couldn't pay, or the government couldn't pay. I'm sure this time around government can pay. Compared to others, anyway, let's move on. I'm sure when Jodado comes, we'll talk about this. But compared to other names, I think that Chris Houghton is better.
I spoke with a former Black Stars footballer about the talk around Chris Houghton, and he felt that perhaps we should keep looking because he may be a good coach, but African football is very different from what Chris Houghton might be used to. He gave the examples of Salah and Mane. I think they both played in the AFCON.
Yes, they're still playing in the AFCON.
Yes, but not doing as well as they do.
Hey,
Well, hold on a second.
I think they're doing incredibly well, though.
Before we continue, this is news review, so we'll come back at sports. Salah, in the last match, equalized and assisted. Egypt scored 2 goals. Salah scored and assisted. If this is not a good performance, what is it?
Yeah.
Sadio Mane scored in the AFCON. In the last match, he was Senegal's best player. In fact, Equatorial Guinea had difficulties dealing with Sadio Mane because Sadio Mane was giving a free role. So I am surprised. And I mean, you saw, I don't know whether you've seen the interview that Gary had with even Sadio Mane. And I was asking him whether he thinks this is his best match. And Sadio Mane was like, well, I mean, so far as they are winning, he's happy. The guy played very well.
He was even involved in some kind of incident. I thought he was injured. He couldn't play.
Scored,
he insisted he wanted to still play.
He scored a goal against Cape Verde. He was injured. He had a head injury. He went to the hospital. Liverpool didn't want him to play in the quarterfinal match. He said he was well. He came. He played so well. Mane scored 2 goals or 3 goals already. We say he's not doing well in the AFCON.
We'll talk more a bit later when we get into the sport.
Are you
but,
former Black Stars footballer?
On funny analysis.
Chris Hughton would do better with the kind of players we have.
Time no day.
Yo.
All right, let's do the Daily Guide newspaper on the front page. 11 suspected robbers nabbed. Czech delegation applauds Ghana on the Apiati tragedy. Explosion track had escorts. And they show what is alleged to be the escort vehicle on the front page of the paper. So this is in sharp contrast. Well, of course, when this incident happened, the big question was whether or not there was an escort. Earlier indication was that there was a police officer in the truck, as in the truck that later on exploded. But the Daily Guide's reports this morning indicates, and they say according to a security source of theirs, the truck that was carrying the explosives in the western region was escorted by a police officer in an accompanying vehicle. They give details of that. And this, of course, is in variance with what the chief of BIPO in the Huni Valley municipality, Nana Atakojo, put out recently, to the effect that the truck did not have an escort, a standard procedure for trucks carrying dynamite and other explosive materials issued or used at mining sites. So this very latest report also raises a lot of questions.
It would actually appear to contradict the letter that the police itself allegedly wrote to the company about providing them with an escort. Because in that letter, there wasn't a mention of another vehicle. The only vehicle that was mentioned was a DAF truck. And a DAF truck was the truck transporting the explosives. So even that letter now bears further scrutiny. If indeed there was an escort vehicle, why was it not mentioned in the letter? Was it not provided by the police? Who was driving it? Why was that person also not mentioned in the letter? Was he not provided by the police? So, we have a few questions now to ask.
Yeah. And where was the vehicle? If this is the current state of the vehicle, then where was it? Ahead of this truck that exploded or behind it? And it wasn't affected in any way.
How did this truck end up driving over a motorbike? If indeed there was an escort vehicle, was it before it or behind it, like you said?
Yeah.
So.
And what efforts did they make? When they knew that the truck was carrying that much explosives, what kind of assistance did they give so people would not get close to the truck that eventually exploded?
Indeed.
But I guess we will see all the details in the investigative reports, because we understand investigations are still ongoing. On the back page, Hudson Odoi agrees Ghana's wish, and then Man U player arrested over alleged rape assault. That's Mason Greenwood. He's been arrested on suspicion of rape and assault. United have announced that Greenwood, 20, will not play or train while police and the club work to establish the full circumstances surrounding images and an audio file that circulated on social media on Sunday.
I mean, just a bit of a quick information here. So I see the letter that was written by the police, and it says, reference to Minerals Commission letter dated 23rd November, permission has been granted to Maxam Company Limited to transfer the mentioned explosives from their private magazine to Chirano Gold Mines. And it talks about items released under the escort of number 47453D Corporal Isaac Quenim of Police Arms and Ammunition Takwa Division on board vehicle number WR225318 driven by Alfred Papo. On board vehicle number 2253 driven by Alfred Papo. Attached are copies of permission letters from the Minerals Commission, just by way of information. On board vehicle, so the vehicle number here is WR225318, and that's a DAF truck.
That was what the escort was on.
Yes, that's what is the letter from the
the
police?
the car number that's on what is emerging now is GX783921. Obviously very different from the numbers that you just mentioned.
Okay, let's get to the new crusading guide. Pram Kingmakers expose GAC over unending bloodshed in Pram. Ghana needs urgent transformation and Escobia. Stop food wastage. And frozen chicken turns fish security agencies to probe biggest Ghanaian importer. Now, the story talks about how Ghanaian security agencies are highly on the red alert, and closely monitoring trends in Netherlands as the Dutch government uncovers perhaps one of the biggest allegations of fraud in its history as far as the exportation of frozen food products from its corridors to other parts of the world, especially Africa, is concerned. It says that on January 25, the Dutch Food and Consumer Product Safety Authority raided Wegdam Foodlink, the main supplier of frozen chicken products.
What was the name of the company?
Wegdam Foodlink, and that's the main supplier of frozen chicken products to some companies in Ghana, including La Bianca Company, the biggest importer of frozen food products in Ghana, on suspicion of fraud over its operations. And we're told that some documents mainly falsified include health certificate, bill of lading, invoice, and packing list. And so the duty for frozen fish, we're told, is less than half that of frozen chicken, which is a huge revenue loss to the government of the destination country. And we're told that in Netherlands, detectives have confiscated the company records, and GRA sources have told this paper that the company La Bianca has long been on the radar of the revenue collection outfit at the Tema port on suspicion of under-declaring and misdescription of its products in a bid to pay less. And according to the paper, La Bianca was slapped with some 710,784 for their actions, yet with the money to be paid to the GRA. And that's just by a bit of information here. And also it says what e-levy will sustain Ghana's developmental projects. E-levy is going to do a lot of things for this country. All of a sudden, all the things we want to do in this country is going to be funded by e-levy. All the things we want to do. 6.9 billion.
Oh, you don't believe?
Over 6.9 billion is no money.
I've always wanted to learn how to play the guitar. I think the e-levy will achieve that.
Let's get into the Ghanaian Times newspaper on the front page. COVID-19 nationwide vaccination. Government launches 5-day campaign to push for herd immunity. Ghana Health Service administers 10 million COVID-19 vaccine doses nationwide, and Topkins are mandated to protect Borteman lands, according to the Nungwa Manche, and don't charge subscribers for SIM registration. This is a warning coming from the telecom chamber, because they have apparently received reports that some of the agents are charging people for when they go through the registration process. And they're asking that if it happens to you, please report it. They will deal with whoever is involved. If you go to page 3 of the paper, there's an update on the trial. The case involving the late J.B. Dankwa Edu. That's the former member of parliament for Abuakwa North in the eastern region, Joseph Boache Dankwa Edu. And it's emerging that the post-mortem has been stolen. The post-mortem examination report has been stolen. So Dr. Lawrence Edusei, the pathologist and fifth prosecution witness, told the Accra High Court yesterday that, quote, After the post-mortem examination, I typed my own report on my PC in 2016 while I was at a conference in Germany. Thieves broke into my house and packed everything. And then he said that the cause of death is exsanguination due to multiple stab injuries of neck and chests. You remember that the late member of parliament died in February 2016. This is February 2022, and it is emerging that the postmortem examination report has been stolen. You can check out a lot more in terms of what transpired in court yesterday. Meanwhile, the Ancient District Court has sentenced a 19-year-old unemployed to 12 months imprisonment in hard labor for stealing a television set at Awaman Hotel in the Awawen municipality of the Western region. And his name is Daniel Mate. He was charged with unlawful entry and stealing. He pleaded guilty to the offense and was sentenced to 12 months imprisonment on each count. How sad.
Well, the Daily Guide says UTAG ready to negotiate. They say they are ready, but the attitude of the posturing of the employer is not welcoming. So the president of UTAG, Professor Solomon Nunu, said even though the university teachers had heard the calls to return to the lecture theatres, there were no concrete milestones on the table towards meeting their demands. Higher standards for mining firms and Operation Clean Your Frontage starts today. So you know that the Greater Accra Regional Minister has been talking about the need to people to clean their frontages. And so we're told that after months of sensitization, the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council's Operation Clean Your Frontage kicks off today with about 30,000 people expected to be deployed in the capital city to start a massive cleanup campaign. Not a bad one. And resolving critical challenges. 25 bridges near completion. We're told that they will be completed by March this year. And government hands over 150 vehicles to SHS and agencies. Back page, Senegal won't get carried away. And that's according to the coach, Aliou Cisse. Now, Aliou Cisse was captain in 2002. And that was the golden age of Senegal. They qualified for the World Cup. They beat France in the first match. They reached the quarterfinals of that particular World Cup. And he was the captain of the squad at the time. And he's now their coach. Led them to the finals of the last AFCON. He wants this golden generation of Senegal to also win, to win the AFCON. They've never done it before.
Okay.
And so that will be the first time that Senegal wins the AFCON, if they are able to win. And Olimbe Stadium cleared to host AFCON final.
You know, we're talking about Mohamed Salah a while ago. In a post-match interview, he said, I think the tournament is difficult. All the teams have suffered. We've seen Algeria exit from the first round and Senegal qualified from their group with just one goal. He also talked about Nigeria. He said they were the best team in the group stages but got knocked out early in the next round. Therefore, you can't predict any game. For some reason, I think my heart is with Egypt.
Well, I mean, if you're a lover of African football, you would want to see another African win the Ballon d'Or. And so if Mohamed Salah is able to win, Egypt is able to win the AFCON. Now, that would help Salah to become the world's best player, I mean, the Ballon d'Or winner. So, yeah, you may want to see Egypt win, but I still would want to see Senegal win. Yeah.
All right, let's quickly go through the Business and Financial Times. Value of Momo transactions dropped by 3 billion Ghana cedis. It says data published by the Bank of Ghana have revealed that the value of mobile money transactions dropped by 3.2 billion Ghana cedis in December last year. Less than 1 month after Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta announced in the 2022 budget the impending imposition on electronic transfer levy. According to the reports, the value of transactions on the country's largest payment platform decreased to 82.9 billion Ghana cedis in December from 86.1 billion Ghana cedis recorded in November 2021, representing a 3.8 percentage points decline. Is that just a little bit of what to expect in terms of would we continue to record decreases because of the announcement of the e-levy, particularly when the e-levy is eventually passed?
Let's do the online review. It's brought to us by Zenith Bank in your best interest, Goyle Good Energy, and Enterprise Life. No matter how much you make for a living, Enterprise Life has life solutions carefully crafted for you. Enterprise Life, your advantage.
And Goal has good news for you because Goal is rewarding its prepaying Go-Kart customers with 2 pesos discount per litre on fuels. You also enjoy a discount on lubricants at Goal stations nationwide. So elevate your goodness by joining Goal Go Club today and enjoy up to 3 pesos per litre discount on fuel, amazing discount on lubricant purchases, free life insurance cover provided by My Life Insurance, accrue and contribute loyalty points to a social group to fund an approved CSR project, and above all, enjoy exclusive Goal branded campaign gifts. Join the Go Club by visiting Goal stations or offices, Goal website, registration.goal.com.gh, and all Goal social media platforms. Goal Good Energy, Goal, yeah, team.
All right then. So, let's move quickly to the BBC News. There we go. We can have a look at myjoyonline.com quickly. Government to restore PSRLs on petrol, diesel, and LPG effective February 1. So we're seeing prices going up. You can find out more on myjoyonline.com. Also, one of the big performing stories, a powerful king called Fomena MP to work with NPP caucus. And that's Muntaka Mubarak's narration. Hawkish posture of majority must be relegated to the background, according to Ransford Jampo, who spoke on our Hotline documentary on the hung parliament. And there is more, a lot more. Go and check it out on myjoyonline.com. Right now, though, it's time for the BBC News, brought to you by Fidelity Bank, Believe With Us, British Airways, and Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner.
Welcome to Malaria 360. Lately, COVID-19 seems to be getting all the attention, but here, our focus is on everything malaria. At the onset of the slightest fever these days, we begin to imagine things and start popping pills. But this is wrong. A simple test at a health facility is all you need to confirm whether or not you have malaria. This is why we say test and treat only when malaria is confirmed. When malaria parasites are found in your blood, you'll be given the appropriate anti-malaria medicines to treat the malaria. Do not self-medicate. Remember to observe all the COVID-19 safety protocols. COVID-19 is real, so is malaria. Zero malaria starts with you and me. Malaria 360. It's everything malaria. This message is brought to you by the Ghana Health Service.
I nearly gave up on driving out of frustration. What hadn't I done? Purging, replacing electrical parts, changing my fuel pump, and still, the engine noise in my car won't stop. Then I met this guy who said I should try Goil Fuel. By the way, my name is Thomas. I did try Goil Super XP Ron 95. Now my car is renewed. Yankonkwa!
Goil stocks only higher grade fuels, further enriched with XP3, multifunctional enhancer, more efficient, eco-friendly, and at no extra cost. Available at every Goil station. Ajibebia. Goil Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP. Higher grade fuels, excellent for modern engines and all vehicles. Goil, good energy. Yeah, dear.
Hey, Evercoco, what brings you to my house this early morning? I hope all is well.
All is never well with me, Nick Bakbo. After paying 3 times for the land for my project, the construction workers are now giving me wahala. From material overestimation to small stealing. I am tired.
I told you so, Evercoco.
It's all because you are trying to become builders when you're corporate workers and business people. Edlum has products tailored to meet your needs. Villas 3 at Amrahia, where there are finished homes. Conveniente, also at Amrahia, where it's contemporary but super affordable apartments. Prices start from $35,000. And the Avant-Garde, located in Adjurigano, which has sleek luxury apartments. For more information, please visit edlumhousing.com or simply call 0270-166-166. Edlum Housing, where spacious homes cost less.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
MT. And in 60 minutes, people fixing the world. where this week we're looking at virtual solutions to very real problems. We meet the researchers using virtual reality headsets to tackle everything, from phobias to domestic violence.
Now we return to Newsday here on the BBC World Service, the world's radio station.
Hello and welcome to Newsday on the BBC World Service with Claire McDonnell and Alex Ritson.
Boris Johnson, the British Prime Minister, has apologised after an inquiry concluded that allowing parties to take place at his official residence when the country was under strict lockdown represented a serious failure of leadership.
We asked people across this country to make the most extraordinary sacrifices, and I understand the anger that people feel.
The UN Human Rights Chief says Myanmar is in a state of civil war. We hear about the once peaceful protesters who have taken up arms.
I feel nothing about killing soldiers who work for military dictators.
In business news, the Central Bank of Russia has proposed new restrictions to use cryptocurrencies.
And Britain faces criticism over the billions of pounds of Russian money which has found its way into London. First, the latest news.
BBC News, hello, I'm Gareth Barlow. The United Nations Human Rights Chief Michelle Bachelet has acknowledged that Myanmar has descended into civil war a year after the military seized power. In a BBC interview, Ms Bachelet compared the situation to Syria, saying people were taking up arms and joining militia because peaceful protests had been met with violence. Jonathan Head is on the Thai-Myanmar border.
Over the past month, there have been helicopter gunships going up and down there, strafing people on the ground. There have been explosions from artillery and mortars, and a lot of people fleeing over into Thailand, some temporarily, but the main towns here are full of dissidents, of exiled politicians, all in hiding. Sometimes these volunteer fighters coming over for a break to Thailand and then going back again. This is now, the kind of conflict that people have seen where I am here. It's an area where there's been fighting for many years between an ethnic insurgency, but not on this scale.
Further diplomatic initiatives are expected today as Western powers continue to express concern about Russia's military build-up on its border with Ukraine. The US Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, and his Russian counterpart, Sergei Lavrov, are due to speak by phone. Britain's Prime Minister Boris Johnson will hold talks in Ukraine. On Monday, the US said Moscow had delivered a written response to proposals aimed at reducing tensions. Dmitry Polyansky, a Russian diplomat at the UN in New York, says Western countries are exaggerating the threat to Ukraine.
All this fuss about our alleged movement of troops began exactly when we proposed to the West, or even required from the West, security guarantees. This issue of Ukraine joining or not joining NATO is it comes from our more general concerns, security concerns.
Meanwhile, the State Department has ordered family members of US government employees to leave Belarus because of Russian military activity near the border with Ukraine. It's also warned American citizens against travelling there. A fourth journalist has been murdered in Mexico, making January the deadliest month for reporters in almost 10 years. Roberto Toledo was shot dead outside the offices of his online publication in the western state of Michoacán. Will Grant reports.
This latest murder of a journalist follows the killing of two more, a photographer and a well-known radio personality in the border city of Tijuana over the past 2 weeks. Earlier in the month, a journalist was stabbed to death in the eastern state of Veracruz. The president, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, has blamed the murders on what he called the neoliberalism of previous administrations. He also said that few journalists in Mexico were engaged in the noble act of informing the public, outraging journalist rights groups who accuse him of indifference over the threats they face.
World News from the BBC. The heaviest rainfall in Ecuador for almost 20 years has triggered a huge landslide that's killed 11 people in the capital Quito. Mud and rocks were carried down the slopes of the Pichincha volcano, engulfing a recreation ground and 8 houses. 32 people were hurt, but it's feared more casualties could lie under the debris. A US judge has rejected plea bargains agreed by prosecutors with two white men convicted of murdering a black man in Georgia 2 years ago. Judge Lisa Gobby Wood issued the ruling hours after father and son, Gregory and Travis McMichael, agreed to plead guilty to hate crime charges relating to the killing of Ahmaud Arbery. The two men were already sentenced by a state court to life imprisonment without parole for the killing. The World Health Organization says it's worried about the huge levels of medical waste generated by the COVID pandemic. It says more than half of healthcare facilities in poorer countries aren't able to deal with the refuse safely. Here's Naomi Grimley.
It's impossible to know how much medical waste has been generated by this pandemic. But one UN programme alone shipped 87,000 tonnes of PPE, such as plastic gloves and masks, to low-income countries. There have also been tens of millions of test kits used and billions of needles and syringes thrown away during the worldwide vaccination push. The WHO says these items can cause injury to healthcare workers and pose an environmental threat if they end up thrown away carelessly, burnt or in landfill.
And a flash of lightning that lit up the southern United States in April 2020 has been confirmed as the longest ever recorded. The mega flash spanned 768 kilometres above the states of Mississippi, Louisiana and Texas. That's the latest BBC News.
See me, I no get 30 billion, but I get digital banking, them sugar. Fidelity Digital Banking. Every day, I use the Fidelity mobile app for like 1 million transactions so I can make it happen cashless from anywhere. Oh, Lord of mercy. Even while I'm producing in the studio, I can top up airtime with my number one girl, call my WhatsApp banking assistant, do some online banking, and so much more. Now, I live like I have 30 billion with Fidelity Digital Banking. So enjoyment, enjoyment. I don't want to pay. Try Fidelity Digital Banking and make it happen because together we are more. Fidelity Bank, believe with us.
British Airways is proud to welcome you to our home, to the thrills of London and the hills of Scotland, to delicious roasts and stunning coasts. Explore ancient castles and modern galleries, devour the art and savour the food, or just shop and shop until you flop into bed. Take off to the people and places you love with British Airways. Book now and change later with our flexible booking options. Terms apply. For details, visit ba.com.
Do you know you can protect your family and property by purchasing our Millennium Enhanced Home Insurance policy or renew your policy to enjoy improved benefits? Talk to us today by calling 0501 285827 or 0302 766633. You can visit our website www.millenniuminsurancegh.com. Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner.
Things and times change. El Shaddai.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
All the youths them along the way. El Shaddai, the lions are called Panay and I. Guide over I and I while I trod. El Shaddai, believe. Yeah. Please protect
coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
Tell him what you need. Jog upon the telephone. Tell him what you need. Tell him what you need, right? So by the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down, and there we wait when we remember Zion. 'Cause the wicked carry us away, captivity required from us a song. How can we sing Rastafari song in a strange land? Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the murderers and the rapists them burn out clean. Oh, when them burn up in a fire just like a piece of lumber. Oh, when dirty heart and bad mind burn out clean. Oh, I'm gonna sing, sing, sing. Alliance to shout, shout, shout. I tell them I sing, Jamaica shout. Praise the Lord. Cause when Judge open the gate, then why? You know it's no gun, no knife, no inside. I'm gonna sing, I'm gonna shout. No terrorists. If I and I have the wings of a dove, if I have the wings of a dove, I would fly, fly away, fly away. Rock-o-ly, oh Zion children, rock-o-ly, Jamaican children, and trod holy. Jah prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Into my heart, into my heart, forward into my heart, oh Jah. Show to us that you are real, real, real. Christ so real to me. I praise him cause he give me the victory. Many people doubt him, but I cannot do it without him. That is why we praise him so. Just so real to me. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Praise ye the Lord. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Praise ye the Lord. Praise ye the Lord. Praise ye the Lord. Praise ye the Lord. Jamaica praise. Across the bridge, there'll be no sorrow. Across the bridge, there'll be no...
What are you suggesting, Honorable Member?
Accusing me.
Honorable Member.
Oh, how?
Please, I am not part of this.
I was
conversation.
only talking about the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana.
Yes.
And the fact that, I posted a picture holding a certificate from the institute.
A certificate.
Right? A certificate.
Yes.
And I got lots of congratulatory messages. People thought I had chatted.
Did you tell them you had not chatted?
Well, what did I communicate?
So when they were congratulating you, didn't comment?
So the institute had this conferment of fellowship last Friday, and let me say congratulations to our own Daniel Techi, because he's now a fellow of the Chartered Institute.
Wait, you
of
were holding a
Accountants Ghana.
certificate in the picture, and you are asking me, what did you communicate?
Did I say I chatted, or just because I was holding a certificate?
But you communicated. So you answer the question. What did you communicate?
I was posing and I was dreaming.
You were dreaming.
It's not bad to dream, But can I just say good morning to the CEO of the Chartered Institute of Accountants Ghana, who is promising he's going to hold my hand. I'm going to be writing those exams, and God willing, I will chatter.
Oh yes, I'll be there to join you when you chatter, and
So, Mr. Kwesi Ajimai, thank you very much. We will try the debit credits and the trial balance. When we succeed with those, then we'll pick it up.
Anyway, it's the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM, and today